Hello, stay tuned with daily news from Marjayat TV. Daily meetings of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi. The Grand Shah Islamic jurist Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Shirazi holds in-person meetings with large numbers of people, including religious scholars, university figures, and social and cultural activists, as well as public groups of people on a daily basis. In these meetings, the attendees report on their activities, explain their views, and listen to the guidelines and advices of the Grand Jurist. PR Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi discusses Arbaeen services with government delegates. The Public Relations Office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi has hosted an annual conference in the Holy Karbala with the aim of assessing the readiness of various organizations and discussing the special plans of Arbaeen pilgrimage. Mr. Warif Nasrallah, the Public Relations Manager of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, said, based on the guidelines of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, this comprehensive conference today will examine the security, service, and media programs during the pilgrimage of Arbaeen. This conference will also identify the most important obstacles and problems and offer cooperative solutions to these problems. He also added that necessary coordination with service and security departments and the police force has been carried out to accommodate the pilgrimage of over 35,000 pilgrims like previous years. Nasrallah also urged the central government and businessmen to help the relevant agencies and organizations so that they could find solutions to the root of all the problems and obstacles that would potentially disrupt the spiritual environment. He said that government agencies are often charged with corruption, and this is undeniable, but we're witnessing cooperation with honesty during the pilgrimage, and this is a great show of respect for these great occasions, and it is relation to Imam Hussein, peace be upon him. Our job is to encourage these good trends and give them an opportunity to expand it and try to consolidate all the time. Director of Public Relations Office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi emphasized on the necessity of protecting the reputation of this holy city and the rituals that were held there, while pointing to the security forces and volunteers who sincerely serve the pilgrims. He also mentioned that everyone must avoid negative debates during this pilgrimage. Deputy Governor for Administration of Arbaeen Pilgrimage, Director of the Water Administration of Karbala, Sports and Youth Manager of Karbala Province, Director of the Karbala Provincial Power Administration, Head of the Board of Directors, and the representative of the Oil Products Manager, and other speakers of the conference announced their readiness to serve the pilgrims Husseini. Annaba Institute and Baghdad University discuss stability in post-Daesh era. The Center for Strategic and International Studies at Baghdad University and the Annaba Cultural and Media Institute held an annual conference titled For a United, Secure, Stable Iraq under the subject of social and security stability in post-Daesh era. The conference hosted a significant circle of experts, personalities, and representatives of organizations in the auditorium of Baghdad University. Mr. Ali Al-Talakani, the director of Annaba Foundation, stated, "The acts of terrorism have been ugly and humiliating to Iraq, and despite the fact that Daesh and the war with this phenomenon has come to an end, but the country is in the transition, and despite the fact that Daesh and the war with this phenomenon has come to an end, but the country is in the transition from a crisis, and we should focus on the reconstruction phase of the country." He added, "The conference is to start a new phase of focusing on security and social stability, which requires a large and widespread presence of participations, practitioners, politicians, sociologists, and media associates." Director of the Center for Strategic and International Studies at Baghdad University, Dr. Ali Al-Jabouri, was another speaker at the conference. He said in his statement that the annual conference of the Strategic and International Research Center of Baghdad University is held, while Iraq and its future are at an extraordinary dangerous stage. After the liberation of Iraq by the armed forces in collaboration with the public mobilization forces, this danger is more evident because the separatists who do not want the peace and stability of Iraq are watching them rumor of the independence and ignoring the constitution. Activities by Baghdad Cultural Islamic Center in Iraq. The Baghdad Cultural Islamic Center has been operating in recent days. For this purpose, Ahmadoufi Saadi, director of Baghdad Cultural and Islamic Center, met with a number of religious, nomad, social, and cultural figures. The rituals of Imam Hussein, using the months of Muharram and Safar in the development of Husseini movement, and confronting anyone who wants to undermine the rights of Imam Hussein, have been the focus of his speeches at these meetings. Director of the Baghdad Cultural Islamic, in these meetings and programs, highlighted the recommendations and guidelines of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi with regards to the publication of the culture of the Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon him, especially the holy ceremonies of Imam Hussein, peace be upon him.